And in this video we're going to set up this awesome GS series low iron glass shrimp tank. It's around about 8 litres, it has internal filtration in the back with a little tiny mini pump and a high powered LED. The whole system is under 5 watts of power, super low cost to run, and it looks awesome. Let's get started and see what's in the box. And welcome back to another Paul's Aquariums video. We're going to open up and inspect what is in the box of one of these DYMAX GS-free Cubey tanks. I know, very cute, nice packaging. I have never seen one of these before, but it is low iron glass with filtration in the back, comes with a little LED light. I think it's relatively small, like 14 litres. Oh no, wait, it's only 7.8 litres. Okay, so it's super tiny. Probably a bit too small for better fish like they recommend, but we're gonna set this one up for shrimp. First, we're going to get it out of the box and see what bits and pieces you get. In the box, you obviously get the aquarium. It has all the filtration and stuff in the back. It has a little pump and stuff. It has a transformer, and the cool thing with these is it's a transformer with 2 plugs. So you don't need an extra plug for your light and your filter. This will do both of them, which is kind of cool. I think they're older tanks, they all had them separate. And we have a very cool looking LED. I don't know what those red LEDs are. I'm guessing they're red. That is a decent size LED, so we're going to check out how bright that is as well. But it looks like it's going to be bright enough to grow low light plants at least. I'm not too sure about carpeting plants, but we will give it a red hot go and see what we can grow in this little tank. It looks like it just comes with a little tray. You have a little bit of sponge. Bag of carbon, I would say that's carbon. Bag of some sort of ceramic media. And a big sponge. That is all that is in that little compartment. This compartment here should be the pump. So if we find the cord, that is the cord for the pump. Most of these, that little flow thing, I was going to say flow adapter, but it's a flow thing, will come off. And usually these little pumps have got, they've got suction caps on the bottom. So there's the pump, usually around 200 litres an hour for these little ones. That is 180 litres an hour, and it doesn't say how many watts it is. Of course it doesn't say how many watts it is. Usually they're about 2 watts or something like that. I'll put on the screen how many watts this tank does. It'll say it on the box somewhere. But yeah, that is a standard little pump. It's got an impeller in there, so it looks like that little black cap will come off that with those little clips. And you need to clean the little impeller inside there. But that is the standard filtration. Not too sure about the size of the holes there, but it looks like little shrimp will probably go into the filter, but I'm pretty sure they've got a grate that you can put over this from DYMAX that will reduce the size of those, but you could probably put some sponge or something there as well. That is glass, low iron. If you look from above, you can see how clear it is. Full glass tank with perspex inside. Has a cool little stand to it as well, so you don't need any polystyrene or any foam underneath the glass tank, so that's fully supported. Okay, so what we're going to do now is put all the filtration back, put the light on, and see what the light looks like. So the light is fully flexible on this little gooseneck thing. I'm pretty sure they call it a gooseneck because that's a weird thing to call them. But yeah, you'll be able to angle the light further up or further down depending on if you've got things sticking out and plants growing out the top of the tank. So it's kind of a cool little setup like that. Obviously they don't come with a lid, but I'm pretty sure you can get DYMAX lids to fit these if you're worried about shrimp and fish jumping out. Or if you've got a cat and cats like to try and eat whatever else you're keeping. So that is the light. Now we have this little bit here, that is the controller on the cord. We have a mode button. We're going to push the mode button. Okay, we have light. So that looks like it's full on. Pushing it again. Ooh, oh, that's creepy. Look how red that is. Obviously the red LEDs are red. Who would have thought? Okay, that's probably the first little tank I've seen with red LEDs. A lot of them have blue and stuff like that. So I'm not too sure about the red LEDs. We could probably do a really cool setup with the new Mordor rock stuff we've got. Yeah, that would look kind of freaky with red. If we push it again, it should turn off. It does. Push it again, and we're full on. Full on. There we go. So the light is obviously pretty bright for what it is. Oh, yeah, that's bright. Let's check the red out again. Yep, okay, the red's red. that is definitely going to grow quite a few different plants. I managed to get a couple of these. So these are the inlet strainers for the DYMAX tanks. This is going to reduce the actual size of those little holes, or the slots. They're a slot, they're a hole slot. And that is going to ideally stop the shrimp from getting into the filtration. So that just sits on top. Obviously they're an optional extra. If you've got bigger shrimp or you're not worried about little shrimp going through your filtration, don't stress about that. But it is a product that is available. Or as I said before, you could probably just put a little bit of sponge through there. The first layer we're going to put on the bottom of this tank is laterite. Laterite is a mineral from Australia and a few other parts of the world, obviously. It is a clay-based ball that you need to wash out first to get rid of a lot of the dust and stuff out of it. So that is our first layer. It is shrimp safe. There is no copper in it or iron or anything like that. Well, not enough to upset any shrimp. So once we've got a laterite layer on, we're going to add aqua earth. Aqua earth is a clay-based mineral. So it is baked into a little tiny ball, and it's double baked to get rid of a lot of the organics. So you're not going to get any ammonia or nitrites present as it breaks down in the water. It will alter your GH, which is the mineral content of the water, and it will also bring the pH down, which is suitable for most South American fish, Southeast Asian fish that like the water soft and acidic, and of course Neocaridina shrimp that also like the same water conditions. It's also going to grow plants super well. The next step after putting your substrate in is your hardscape, and we're going to use these rocks here, which are Mordor rock. I know, I did not name them. Apparently they go a blacky cool color in the water. Most of these rocks are going to alter your GH and your mineral content, but it's going to be a little bit counteracted by the aqua earth. So if a few of these rocks bring the pH up a little bit, the aqua earth will drag it down a little bit, and you should get a happy medium. You can always experiment with how many rocks per volume of water and what stability your water is going to be like before you put anything alive in. So we're going to glue these together using the super glue and tissue paper method. If you haven't seen that method before, there'll be a link at the end of this video. And this is what we ended up with. I kind of like them. They are just super glued together with tissue paper and a little bit of dust around that so you can't see the white tissue paper. That way you can make any cool rock sculpture you want. I haven't actually really measured them to see if they'll fit in this tank, but I'm sure they're gonna fit. So the next bit is the super fun bit, and that is arranging the rocks in the tank. And that was extremely easy. All these rocks are sold by weight, so that is around about $10 worth of rocks max if you were to buy them from a shop. Of course, you can use whatever rocks you have on hand. Not too sure about that one in the middle, but I think that one there, when we put a few little plants and stuff around it, will give the shrimp somewhere nice to just chill and sit. So we could extend the rocks up further as well, or we could put some plants on the top of them. But we're sort of going to go with this scape for now. I reckon that looks pretty cool, and it's a very easy scape. Next thing we're going to do is balance our water. It's going to take about a week to get our pH and our hardness stable. So we're going to dechlorinate it with products like Prime. We're going to check the pH with a pH test kit. We're going to use an acid buffer, but our substrate as well is going to bring our pH down. So we're going to jump about a week, and then we're going to plant it. Okay, 2 weeks later, we have added a lovely carpet of moss. It's a mixture of Fontinalis and Christmas moss and a few other random bits and pieces in there. So this is going to be a super low maintenance tank. With a lot of carpeting plants, they will get out of hand and sort of they can take off really quickly. With the moss, the only thing you have to sort of double check is to make sure that it doesn't climb the actual rocks itself and just turn into a giant big moss ball. Sort of what's happened to 24-karat gold shrimp tank at the moment, as you can see on the screen. Lots of moss, but it does look super cool growing all over the driftwood as well. So this one, we're just going to trim the moss to maintain it. I've also added some pink flamingo crypt plants. So there's a little bit of a die back, and we're expecting most of the leaves to die off, and then the new shoots should be pretty awesome. So far, so good. So next step we're going to do is add our shrimp. It is day 18. I have added 7 really nice, brightly coloured shrimp. These are Bloody Mary shrimp, so Neocaridina shrimp, or otherwise known as your red cherry shrimp. These are just line bred from your normal red cherry shrimp, so both males and females are a bright red colour. A little bit more expensive than your normal red cherry shrimp. They are glowing under the LED. Super awesome, very, very easy to see. We've also added a little bit of Rotalia, which is that little spiky plant in the middle of the tank. Our pink flamingo crypts are just starting to grow back, so that is good. And our moss has settled down quite a bit in the last few days. Currently I'm running the tank light for about 8 to 9 hours a day, and then total darkness, just to give you an idea. A little bit of algae on the rocks, not much algae has formed on the glass yet, but we are still cycling, and it will take about sort of 6 to 8 weeks to fully cycle this tank. Neocaridina shrimp won't produce much chemical waste, so we're not going to have a huge ammonia or nitrite spike, so it's perfectly fine to cycle them with them in the tank. We're going to jump to the red light and see what it looks like. Okay, that's a little bit different. I don't know if you can even see the shrimp. Have they just disappeared? Wow. Okay, so we have the really creepy red light. That's, I'm guessing you could just have that at wild parties? Red light, red light, red light? Have no idea. But that is what the red light looks like. If you did enjoy this video, click the thumbs up so I know. There'll be much, much more videos like this one because it's just fun to set up all these different little tanks. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about the tank or any of the setup, just comment down below and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks heaps for watching.